Well, hello, Sunday afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. We were a bit late starting, we had a few things going on, but we are about to get started with the Streamer Spotlight interview with the official Luna's Kitty. It is April. Um, hey, Zelador Daisy. So we are going to get started shortly. Um, Luna's just getting her stream started, so I just want to give her a couple of minutes to get her thing together. Um, so each month we work at trying to find out a little bit more about a streamer. We do a bit of an interview. We try and make sure that people know when they're on. And today, for this month, it's Luna's Kitty. So very creative, very fun streamer. Does lots of different things. Currently on a bit of a DRR quest. So we'll have a chat about stuff like that. But the idea is we'll find out a little bit more about the streamer, a little bit more about what they do as well. So I'm going to hopefully not disturb them as they're introducing their chat. I'm hoping they've started their stream. If not, it's going to feel a bit weird for a minute. But give me 1 second. Jump over and see and get them started. Hello, are you there?
I am here.
Excellent. I just need to do one thing and then we are good. Oh, that looks like I've already done it. So that backdrop is still looking pretty good to me. So how are you doing? How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a really good day so far.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go through lots of different questions. I'm sorry, I don't really do loads of interaction with chat at this time. But if you have any questions for Luna, then post them in my chat, and we'll do as many as we can. Your stream up and running, all good?
Yep, everything is up and running, all good.
Perfect. Okay. Well, let's go with question one then, obviously. So your name is obviously the official Luna's Kitty. Did you ever think about using a different name? And is there a story behind that name?
Yes. So I want it to be, and I'm pretty sure because this account already exists on Twitch. I want it to be just Luna's Kitty without anything else, obviously. It used to be Luna's Kitty underscore or Luna's Kitty 83, and I've been trying to get rid of everything, numbers and underscores, all that. But and I'm pretty sure that the account that exists is mine, but I don't know what email address I use, so I can't delete it. Um, but yeah, it's actually a reference to my favorite anime, Sailor Moon. One of the characters is a cat on there, and her name is Luna, and her and the other cat have a baby named Diana, who that was what I wanted my name to be initially, because I've had this screen name since back in the 90s when Yahoo first was created. Um, and I wanted it to be Diana, but obviously that's a very common thing, so it was already taken. And I tried just Artemis or Luna by itself, and both of those were taken. So it was, since Diana is their baby, that's Luna's kitty, and that's how Luna's kitty was born.
Nice. It's quite funny. You try and age people by their email address.
Yeah.
I've got an AOL account. So anyway, moving on. Um, so do you have any other? And we know obviously people who've watched your streams before. They know there's a creative side to you as well. But do you have
Mhm.
any other interests, skills, and hobbies? And you might be able to hear Busby
um
still going in the background. Sorry.
it's okay. I think it's pretty cute. I do. So one of the other things that really is a major interest for me that I truly love, I volunteer for a company that's called Dance Safe, and what they do is it's education based harm reduction. And so it's teaching the younger generations that go to the music festivals and raves how to be safe at them.
Okay.
And it's something that I'm really passionate about because I've always been interested in music and stuff, and live music is even better. But in that particular scene, you see a lot of people who are experimenting and trying things, and it's really can be very dangerous. And so, if you just give them a little bit of education, then it can really help them stay safe in those environments.
I've heard of some of these projects before. There's a few knocking around the UK, so I don't know, that's something interesting. I didn't know that he did that.
Mhm.
Um, can you obviously we talked very briefly then I mentioned the creative side of it of your streams. Can you tell us how you got involved in some of the more creative crafting that we've seen on stream?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So it started back in 2020 when I first started streaming. The whole reason actually that I started streaming was because I do and I haven't done it in a while, so I probably should do it again soon. But I do blacklight reactive pictures coloring pages, like mandalas and geometry stuff, and it's something that I found really really fun. I always did, and I would show my friends the pictures that I would color and create, and they would ask me how I did it, and want me to stream how I did it, so that way they could see themselves and just watch my process. So I originally started out doing gaming because I wasn't sure that I felt comfortable doing my art stuff on stream, but my friends continued to encourage me to do the coloring on stream, and so I started doing that every Sunday. And as time went on, I started getting into more and more and different crafts. So I do mostly crochet on Sunday, but I will do like diamond paintings or actual painting, or sometimes I'll do the coloring still. But the variety of different crafts that I do has definitely grown since I started. But yeah, that's kind of how that all started.
Oh, cool. Um, so these first kind of set of questions are a little bit more about you. Um, so can you tell us how the people kind of in your life react to the title streamer or content creator? How do they react to that?
Well, my sisters, both of my sisters, um, come into my chat and they'll hang out with me. So I imagine they think it's pretty nifty. We haven't really talked about it. My kids think it's amazing. My daughter, particularly, absolutely loves the fact that her mother is a content creator and streams on Twitch, and frequently tells all her friends about it. So, pretty excited. I would say overall, people really dig the fact that I'm doing something like this and it's different and it's new and really cool.
Nice. Like it's I think to get a bit of a different answer each time that I ask that question. Um, so food wise, favorite. What's your favorite food to snack on? And then does this change whilst you're streaming, or do you not eat whilst you stream? And then a bolt onto that is what is your go-to meal? What is your favorite meal?
All right, yeah. Snack food wise, my favorite snack has to be potato chips. Most any flavor. I have to do potato chips though. I have to make sure they're not corn chips because I'm allergic to corn. But I don't generally like I'll sometimes eat on stream, but I'll throw on my BRB screen and just mute and eat really quickly, like a small snack, like a sandwich or something. But it's not super common that I eat anything while I'm streaming, just because I try and take care of all that beforehand so that I don't have to worry about it. Um, my go-to meal definitely would have to be mac and cheese or cheesy potatoes. Anything that's like starch and cheese, really.
I like the sound of that. That sounds good. I haven't eaten tonight, so I'm already thinking what's next. Um, so bit of a weird one. So if you were a candy bar or a chocolate bar, which one would you be and why?
Oh, that's easy. I would be a Reese's peanut butter cup because there's nothing better than that.
Well, we should just move on because that sounds pretty good. Um, Controversial time. This is where you win favor or maybe lose friends. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Honestly, absolutely not. And the only reason for that, and it's not because it doesn't taste good or the flavors don't match, but I don't like to mix sweet and savory. And to me, pineapple is a sweet thing that you eat by yourself or on ice cream or with something else that is sweet. And it doesn't go with the savory flavor of cheesy pizza.
You do not need to convince me. You do not need to convince me on that one. Okay, so we've heard Busby making loads of noise in the background. Um, do you have any pets?
Currently, no, but I do have a probably, I think it's a 175-gallon reptile enclosure that I keep hamsters in usually. But the last one that I had, I was very, very close with. I had her for like 3 years, and that's a long time for a hamster.
Ow.
And for part of that, I was away from her because I was homeless, and she was living at my friend's house, and I would get to see her, but it was just like a month or two after I finally got a place again and I got her back that she passed away. So to me, it felt like she waited for me to come back before she, passed away. And so I took it very, very hard. And I found it difficult to get another hamster quite just yet.
Yeah, I completely understand. That's really understandable. And we become so attached, become such a large part of our world. Um,
Hmm.
so moving to kind of a bit more like travel and kind of holidays and vacations. Where's your favorite holiday destination? Where's your happy place?
Anywhere that has a forest. Um, and so I don't I don't travel around a lot, and when I do, it's almost never outside of the state that I live in, because the state that I live in, the Pacific Northwest, so it's I live in a rainforest basically. And anywhere within a 20-minute drive is a forest that I can go around and just explore and camp in, and that right there is my biggest happy spot. So I don't really even need to go far, just to a forest.
That sounds cool. Um, well, just completely jump in the other direction. Are you a sports fan? Have you got any teams or players that you follow?
I am not a sports fan.
No sports fan. Okay.
No.
Um, Favorite color, and does it have any meanings in your life?
My favorite color is purple. It is the best color in my opinion. uh Meaning wise, it's just a comfortable, happy color for me. It makes me smile, it brings me joy. And then going back into the art section of the world, purple lights or black light, which is actually, it's more purple than it is black. It makes the things in my pictures glow in bright, beautiful colors.
Hmm.
So I just love it.
Cool. You just got to remember, anything you say will be definitely used against you in by your chat at some point. So just kind of let
Oh,
you know,
I'm sure.
they will remember everything. Um, so I am one of these people. I tend to remember every single dream that I've had. So can you remember the last dream you had?
um, it the last dream I remember was quite a long time ago. I don't frequently remember my dreams. I actually have a condition called idiopathic hypersomnia. Sorry, my dyslexia got me there. And it doesn't really allow me to get into a deep sleep or a
Okay.
REM sleep. So most of the time when I'm sleeping, I'm just in a really light sleep. But the last dream that I did have, I was running around on some map I've never seen on Daisy. It was like I was in Daisy, but it was definitely me and not me playing the game. So I was running around and doing the looting and the shooting, but we were in the video game. It was really strange.
I was about to. The thing is, that would have been my follow-up question because I definitely had them. Like, have you ever had a Daisy dream?
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
it is
yeah,
bizarre when it
definitely.
happens. Um, so, next question. Moving on a little bit. Music. Uh, does music play a part in your life? And can you remember, or what was the last concert that you attended?
Music is a huge part of my life. Music has saved my life in many, many, many ways. It's how I express myself. So if I ever send somebody a song, and it means a lot more than just the song and the words itself. To me, it means something more. Um, the last concert I went to, are you talking about like bands or DJs? Because I go to all of the above.
Last live music.
The last live music I went to was actually last night.
Oh,
It was the show that we vended at, was a showcase of the DJs that will be at an outdoor music festival that is coming up this summer. And a few of my friends were some of the DJs that were playing. So I got to see my friends express themselves through music while also um, showcasing and selling my crochet.
cool. So, what time did you get to bed?
I got to bed at 2:30 in the morning.
That's still quite respectable.
Yeah, yeah. So it we left earlier than when the show ended. We left a couple hours before the show ended because I'm sorry, it wasn't last night, it was Friday night.
Okay.
We left a couple hours before the show ended because both my friend and I that I do the crochet with, we both had to work yesterday.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah. So I went to work for about 5 hours on 2 hours of sleep.
Ooh, running on fumes. Um,
Yeah, yeah, it was a long day yesterday.
I bet you're on your feet and kind of moving around quite a lot as well, so that takes it out of you.
Hmm.
So, in terms of like what you look for in people, and obviously you come across all sorts of different characters on Daisy, but what personal qualities do you look for most in a friend?
Um, I like more upbeat, joking type of conversation. So if they can toss a joke back and forth with me, I love it. The more laughing, the better, because laughter is a sign that you're having a good time.
Hmm.
And I've met some people in Daisy that really kind of just drag a mood down, and they're not so much fun to be around. And Daisy is like my escape from the real world where everything can be kind of depressing.
Yeah.
So I don't, yeah. So upbeat, friendly, just joking a lot. Those are my kind of people.
Cool. That sounds good. If you, therefore, then, what if you had a motto for life? What would it be?
A motto for life.
Got deep very quickly here.
Yeah, I just remember to smile, cuz even though it seems bad right now, it will get better.
Cool. So this is where now people are definitely going to start judging you the most. Um, do you have a favorite film or TV series? And if you're going to give us something to go away and watch, what would it be right now?
Um Film wise, So movies I like, I'm a hopeless romantic. And I like the romantic movies that are conflict involved. So
Oh,
there's a conflict, and then at the end, there's the romantic section of it. Um, so there's a series of movies that is the it's called After, and there's I think 5 of them. And I would highly recommend those to anybody who loves romance movies. It's good. Um, TV show wise,
mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for like I'm sorry, I've got a hype train going on and it's distracting.
Choo. Let's do it.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I like medical TV shows. So my favorite one is an old show, and they canceled it many many years ago, but it's called ER.
Oh, I know we are. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved ER very much. Like and I think this is partially why my mom would sit and watch the TV show. She would watch ER and I would watch it with her, and so it was a thing that we used to do together, and my mom and I were incredibly close.
And that was something that you shared together, then, was it?
Mhm.
That's cool. Some of the medical dramas, though, sit and watch and think, oh, this goes on behind the scenes, and that worries me. Um, cool. All right. So, going back to food in a weird way, actually, I'll rephrase that. Who would be invited to your fantasy dinner party, and you can have 3 people?
Um well, I know the first one would definitely be, and this is people that are living or dead, right?
Anyone you want, anyone at all.
The first person without a doubt would be my mother.
Yeah.
Um like I said, we were incredibly close. She passed away like 10 years ago. And to have one more opportunity to sit and have a dinner with her would be one of the best things in the world. Aside from that would be my favorite music artist, which is Adventure Club. They are they produce EDM. They're a duo.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian, which is one half, um, he used to stream on Twitch. And when I found out he was streaming on Twitch, that was how I joined Twitch. But I was such a consistent person in his chat that he made me a moderator for his chat, and we became good friends.
Oh wow.
And yeah, yeah, yeah. And so to sit down and have dinner with him in person, I've met him in person and hung out with him after a show. But to be able to sit down and have dinner and just chill and shoot the shit, that would be amazing.
Yes, definitely. That sounds really cool. Um, so we're gonna go back. Obviously, not that long ago, because obviously we weren't. It wasn't that long ago that we were at school. Obviously. What was your favorite subjects?
I hated school.
Oh,
There was not a single subject in school that I really liked.
okay.
I tolerated most. Well, I can't even say I tolerated most classes because I failed most of my classes. So growing up, um, at a young age, I think I was in 3rd grade, I was diagnosed with ADHD. And then fast forward to 2 years ago, my psychologist told me that it was most likely ADHD and autism. So growing up and being in school, I really needed a lot of one-on-one attention,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't get that need met. So school was very hard for me.
There is a phrase, and I don't know if it gets used a lot over where you are, but in the UK it gets used a lot, and it's like school's like the best years of your life, but it's really not for some people. Um, but it's almost like to say it's easy, and for lots of people, it's definitely not. And they look back at those school years and think, I didn't enjoy that one bit. But it sounds like it was down to a lack of potential support and probably limiting opportunities
Mm-hmm.
that compiled all that together. So yeah, I'm kind of sorry to hear that. But yeah, there's lots. Yeah, they try and put this big spin on it in the UK. It's like, oh, it's the best, easiest time of your life, and
Yeah.
it isn't for lots of young people. So yeah, it just sounds like you've been unfortunate in that situation where you didn't get the opportunities and support that you needed at the time. Um, yeah, we've kind of come to the end of those groups of questions, and we're now going to start finding out a little bit more about you as a gamer stroke streamer. Um, so, in terms of your background in gaming, where did it start?
Way, way back when I was a little kid, my mom had kept from when she was a teenager the Atari game system that she had. And she brought it out at one point when I was young to show me and my sisters. And the first game I ever played was Mrs. Pac Man on the Atari. And that was really where I started gaming,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really fall in love with gaming until Legend of Zelda.
Okay. When you then started playing Zelda, what came next, or was there a gap?
There was a huge gap.
Okay.
Um, after that gap, we ended up getting I think it was a GameCube, when I was with my ex-husband. We got a GameCube, and we played the Need for Speed games.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love the Need for Speed game series racing. It's one of my favorites.
When did you make the jump into PC?
2020.
2020. Was that around?
Yeah.
I can't even think. Was that around COVID?
That was so I got my PC right before COVID hit, like probably a month or so before they did the lockdowns. Um, my friend gifted me a PC, and it was like probably the lowest end quality PC parts you could use.
Oh,
It barely ran Fortnite.
oh God.
Yeah. But it was my first PC, and I mean I had a laptop before, but anybody who knows anything about computers knows that laptops nowadays are really, really great, but 10 years ago they couldn't run games very well at all.
Mm. Yeah.
And so I've played Diablo and Diablo 2 on my laptop, but as far as really getting into computer gaming, it was 2020.
Oh, cool. Um, well, you kind of said your first game was Miss Pac-Man. I've got somewhere in the attic, passed down through various people, the Atari. I'm assuming it was a cartridge.
Yeah.
Some of the games on there, they would really hurt your hands. Do you ever play Cubert?
Yes, that was a great game. Oh, I loved it. It was so much fun.
But you would then come off and need to go and dip your hands in ice for hours.
Yeah.
Asteroids was fun as well. But I've still got that in the attic. And every so often I break it out and just show this is what we used to do for fun. So,
That's great.
so we know Miss Pac-Man was the first game that you've ever played, and you probably played lots and lots since then. But is there a game that you did play and thought, I wish I hadn't started this?
Um, and that's a hard one because I don't really feel like I never wish I had never started a game, but there are definitely games where I've started playing where I just I don't even care if I finish this or not. And Kirby was one of those. I didn't like the Kirby games very much.
Yeah,
Spyro either. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan.
there's a few, isn't there, where you're thinking, I'm not even bothered if this ends. got a couple of them myself.
Yeah.
So, 'cause obviously, computer games in gaming in general, it can be quite expensive. Also, there's some amazingly free games out there. But can you remember what is the most you've ever paid for a game?
I believe it was $60, and it was for Diablo 2 because I got it when it very, very first came out. And I was super excited for it because I had played the original Diablo a little bit. Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Diablo 2, it was Diablo 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and it was when it first came out. I had played the first and the second Diablo, and they're great games.
Yeah.
I'm not so much into them now because the grinding that it takes to get anywhere to defeat the bosses is just, it's not me anymore.
Hmm.
But they're great games, and so when it first came out, I think it was like $60 I paid for it because it came with, I think, the DLC, I want to say.
So, in terms of like games you've played, what's the most underrated game do you think that you've played? That if you could kind of spread the word about, which one would it be?
Um, I would say that the next biggest up and coming game that's going to be really good, that I think is underrated, that not a lot of people have checked out and really should, is called Vane.
What's Vane? What's the
From what
background?
I understand, it's like Project Zomboid and Daisy had a baby,
Oh, okay.
but it's first person instead of third person, or however it's, you can do, it's, yeah, it's really fun. I recommend it because it is great to check out. Vane looks really good. There, it's a duo of it's two people that are making it, and so it's kind of slow going, but they do regular updates, and it's free to play the demo, and the demo is basically the full game.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Yeah, so that's what something
Yeah,
to look out for then is Vane.
definitely. I would say it's going to be a great game.
Cool. Well, that's something we'll have a little look out for. So obviously we have to be very thankful we have Grinchy to thank for this very lovely Zelador setting. Um,
Hmm.
but why did you choose Daisy?
So when I first started playing games on my PC, I played Fortnite a lot, and I played with one of my bestest friends. Her name is Panda, who is also a streamer, and she's very, very great, and I love her to death, and she's just the biggest sweetheart. Um, but I would watch her stream, and I saw her playing Daisy, and she was playing with a couple of our other friends.
Hmm.
Um, and I just thought to myself, well, that looks like so much fun. It looks like they're having such a great time. I had always been interested in playing a survival game, but I had never really, like, I would much rather watch somebody play a game before I decide if I'm going to buy it because I don't want to put the money out if I'm not going to enjoy it, you know?
Yep.
Um, so I was watching her play, and I was just like, oh wow, that looks like so much fun. So I started looking up other Daisy content creators, and I started watching other streamers. And I it looks like so much fun. It looks like so much fun. It went on sale because, we all know Daisy goes on sale a lot.
Yes.
um, and when it went on sale, it was like $26. I was like, I can put out $26 for a game. My and I had a really, really great time once I figured out how to join community servers.
Daisy just infects everything, and all of a sudden you're involved, and you don't know how you got involved, but there's so much going on. It's a crazy game, but we love it and hate it and love it
Hmm.
more. um,
Yeah, it's the best worst game.
yeah, love it. Um, So I'm going to kind of jump ahead because I don't know whether you've answered this question just then. So, who inspired you to start streaming? Was it Panda?
It was Panda and a couple of other friends. Um, a few of them I don't really talk with anymore,
Uh
but
huh.
I would still consider friends. Panda, what was her name? Slayer, and a couple other people. Panda's husband. Um, all really said that they felt like I had a great personality and that I would really enjoy it and I should just give it a try. Um, and yeah, so it was a handful of people that were really like, we want to watch you do this, please. So that's kind of how that all started.
So my next question, it can be you or it can be someone that you watch. Do you have a favorite or a funny moment in stream that's made you laugh, that's made you cry, that's happened recently, or even going further back? Is there a moment that stands out?
So my favorite Daisy content creator is TSP Bobby, and I spend a lot of time watching him when he's live. And he had found out that I was a streamer because I never say anything in anybody's chat about it. Somehow found out I was a streamer. I think I raided him at one point or something, and he found out I was a streamer, and he raided me one day. It was right around Christmas time, I remember. And a bunch of the people in his chat found out for the first time that I was a streamer also. And
Hmm.
one of them was my good friend Maddie G. And I was kind of telling them a little bit of a story about my situation because I was homeless at the time, streaming from a friend's house. And he donated $500 to me
Holy
at
shit!
that time, and it told me to put it in my savings towards getting a new place, which without him I would not have my room that I have now. And it absolutely is one of the top moments in my streaming career, that when I think about it, not only does it make me smile, but at the time I started crying because I didn't know how to react.
There are some incredible people who play DayZ that quite often the community is just it shouldn't astound me, but it does. But that's an amazing streaming moment. I'm sure that all the emotions and it was like, which one do I do first? Um,
Exactly, yeah.
wow, that's incredible. In fact, it's weird. It's like I can't believe like coincidence. I think DayZ is built around timing and coincidence. And actually, I'm teamed up with Bobby in the upcoming Kings event.
Oh
Um,
goodness.
so
He's great.
it's just mad, isn't it? How like people know people and we're all connected, just through this cronky zombie apocalypse game, that we all love to hammer. But that's amazing. That's an amazing streaming moment. Um,
Hmm.
so you may have already answered this a little bit, I suppose, but given the chance, and who would you most like to dream with? And it can be a
Well,
creative, or it could be a Daisy. It can be anything you want.
um, so I'll be completely honest with you. Grinchy and I were kind of going over the questions a little bit together before this morning,
Uh huh.
just so that way I was a little more prepared and I wasn't like stunned with the answers and not able to answer them. Um, and when he asked me this question, my response was, well, I would absolutely love to run with Gunner and Noodles.
We could definitely make that happen.
Yeah, I
Or
I would love, well, and I get to run with Noodles for the Queens of the Castle, and I think that that's going to be really great. I'm super excited about that.
you've just made like streaming moment for me. I've just like just started smiling just by just that kindness that you would like to spend some time with me. But we could definitely do that because that would be really cool.
I think it would be lots of fun.
Oh, I think you'd spend a lot of time. Well, no, actually, I'll rephrase that. you'd spend a lot of time listening to Noodles shout at me, and and then trying to find Noodles because she's wandered away. But it would be, yeah, we will definitely have to put that in the diary because that would be a really fun run.
I think that it would be great.
So that
Yeah.
would be really cool. We can definitely make that happen. Yeah, and we'll then just have to pick a map and pick a day. So yeah, that'd be really good. We'll definitely do this. I don't know what to say now. Your setup in your room. Can you describe it in 3 words?
Dark. Um, Safe and unique.
Oh, okay.
So I get chronic migraines, and I have, it's called sudden onset migraines. So one minute I could be absolutely fine, the next minute raging migraine. So I keep my room very dark because I get sensitive to the light.
Yeah.
So my room is almost always dark. I almost never have the overhead light on. And when I do, I actually have a tapestry that goes over my ceiling to lessen how bright that light is.
Yeah.
But the unique part comes in with my art. I have crochet things, paintings, pictures that I've colored all over my wall. And so it's a unique space, and it's just, I don't know, I'm gonna keep adding to it. I have more crochet things that I intend to hang up that I just quite haven't done yet, but it's definitely a unique spot. And then when it comes to it, my bedroom has always been my safe place. It's the spot where I can go, where no matter what is going on in my life, or no matter how overwhelmed I feel, I can curl up on my bed and every fear melts away.
Sounds like you've got a perfect blend then, with your safe space, your creative side, and then and we've just got a heli crash going over in the background.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you have a perfect blend to be able to do what you do.
Indeed.
So like that helicopter crash just died down. So a bit more about DayZ. So do you have a favourite DayZ map, or is it something that changes depending on your
Without a
mood?
doubt, it's gonna be Zelador. Zelador has been my favorite map since I found it. But as a close second, I would have to actually say Iztec,
Oh,
um,
okay.
which is not a very popular or well-known map anymore since all of the drama happened with the creator of it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, it was one of those Daisy drama Twitter situations. Um, the
As it,
map ended up getting pulled from the workshop for a period of time
okay.
very suddenly, and it's been put back up since, but no one really wants to host it or support it. So it's very hard to find servers to play on anymore.
Ah, okay. But Zelador sits at the top of the pile.
Absolutely.
And we have to again thank Grinchy for this amazing setting that we've got ourselves today.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Can you describe, and again it might change depending on your mood, can you describe the perfect DayZ run?
Um, I can't say that I can, because nothing in DayZ is ever going to be perfect. No matter how much you try and plan on it, or craft or create it to be a situation that you want it to be, DayZ will find a way to make you have to change it or alter it or do something differently. So in my opinion, you can't have a perfect DayZ run, but it can be pretty damn good. And as long as you're with good people and you're having a good time and you're laughing, and you're just getting along really well, then that would be as close as you could get.
Pretty much sold it to me there. Last kind of DayZ based question is what is there that you would like to see added and also removed from the game? What would you think that would be brilliant, and what would you say that does my head in, get rid of it? And it can be something really small.
I would like to see if I could get them to do anything to the game, I would get them to fix the infected. Because they are so broken right now with the way their pathing and everything works. But like if you're looking for something to add to content to the game, I mean, I honestly can't really think of anything to take away. Would be probably the loud ass thunder. I
Really?
could do
Okay,
without
yeah.
that. Yeah, I could do without that.
Mine would definitely be sound related. Mine would be the thirst noise.
Oh gosh, yeah, that would be a good one to take away too.
That hurts me every time I hear it.
It
Really
is
does.
painful.
But depend on the server. Sometimes those thunder craps can be unbelievably loud, and
Yeah.
there's definitely a jump. Grinchy just said, "Should I make it absolutely storm now?" No,
Oh goodness.
no, thank you. Okay, so what is your favorite thing that you've ever crafted on stream?
On stream, I'm trying to go over the things that I've made on stream. There is a shawl that I worked on stream. I finished it off stream, but I started it and worked on it quite a bit on stream. And it's in the shape of like a half circle, and it is like rainbow.
Okay.
And the pattern makes little butterflies.
Ooh.
And it's really pretty, and it turned out phenomenal. It's probably one of the best shawls that I've made to date. And it's one of the things that I'm going to be putting on my wall, so that way whenever I want to, I can just look at it and admire it.
How long did that take then? Sorry.
That one took, I was really going at it a lot, so it took me probably about a month and a half.
Oh
No,
wow.
not that.
Okay.
A week and a half. A week and a half.
Wow. What's your next creative project? Do you have one in mind?
I have a few projects that I have special orders for, but as a like passion project, there is a shawl, and I believe it's called I can't remember the name of it, but it almost looks like phoenix wings
Okay.
when you're holding it up.
Yeah.
And it looks like a very complicated, tricky pattern, but I am super excited to try it and see if I can make it look really unique in my own way. And that's going to be the next thing that I do for me.
Amazing. Whenever I drop into those streams, it's a bit like I think I always say I don't believe you how you have the patience and skill to be able to do this. I would just be making a right mess of it. So yeah, I really do like it. It's also quite calming as well when you drop in and watch. But yeah, cool. We are gonna jump on now to the final round. I say quick fire. I'm not gonna just throw questions at you, but it's gonna be this or that. So you pick one or the other. And
Okay.
if it's neither, then you can just go nope, none of them. So here we go. So what do you prefer, music or podcasts?
Music, definitely.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee, for sure. Coffee is life.
I think I've seen you write that in chats a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Beach or mountains?
Ooh, that's a tough one, but I'm going to have to go with mountains because those usually come with forests.
Oh, well, there we go. Mountains or forests?
Forests, absolutely.
Forests or the city?
Definitely Forest.
Okay. PS. Oh, I can't even speak. PS or Xbox?
Xbox.
Daisy or Rust?
Daisy, definitely.
Uh, Prefer to go out or stay in?
A little bit of both. It really depends on the day. Sometimes I'm really okay. Okay, so the ADHD in me is great with being social, but the autism in me doesn't like to.
Mm-hmm.
So some days I love to go out, and some days I just want to stay home.
Fair enough. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Do you prefer to make food or order in?
I would say it depends on the day, but I do love cooking.
Is that another creative side to you? Is that something else that we don't know about? Are you a big chef?
Yeah, actually, now that you bring that up, it does remind me of it wasn't necessarily a class in school that I did, but it was an after school activity. It's a program called the ProStar program, and it was teaching high school kids to be chefs, so that way they could graduate from that and go to a chef school.
Okay.
And I did that when I was in high school, and I very much enjoyed that. So yeah, I guess that would be another passion and something that I enjoyed at school.
Okay. Um, Summer or winter?
Summer.
Sweet or savory?
Um, Sweet.
Hmm. Movie or book?
I'm gonna have to go with book.
Ooh, okay. Fruit or vegetable?
Um, it depends on which one, because I like them both.
Okay. Um, I might get the same answer. Shoes or slippers?
Neither. I
Oh,
don't like wearing shoes or slippers. If I could go barefoot, I will.
can't argue with that. Do you prefer to sing in the shower or in the car?
In the car. I call it car concerts, and they're my favorite.
Oh, well, hang on, this is a side hustle now. Is there any potential for car concert streams?
Definitely not.
Oh, disappointing. Um,
Yeah, the cooking stream maybe. Car concert not so
well,
much.
maybe. Um, okay. Random one. M-Lock or IJ?
Hmm. M-Lock.
Okay, this last little section, I get the feeling I already know where we're going to end up. So, let's start off with Chinaris or Livonia?
Chinaris.
Chinaris or Banoff?
Chinaris.
Chinaris or Namals?
Definitely Chinaris.
Chinaris or Sakal?
Chinaris.
Chinaris or PNW?
PNW.
Ooh. PNW or Deer Isle?
Deer Isle.
Deer Isle or Alteria?
I have never played Alteria, so I'll have to go with Deer Isle.
Ooh, okay. Um, Deer Isle or Bitterroot?
Probably Deer Isle.
Deer Isle or Zelador?
Definitely Zelador.
Of course, it was going to be. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't have ended any differently. It had to be a Zelador win, team win for Zelador.
Yeah.
Right, well, we have reached the end. So I just kind of want to say massive thank you for being the streamer spotlight for April. It's been a challenge because obviously the time zones don't match up. So there's been some times that I've been going to bed and then I'll just get this little notification saying that you're going live, and I'm like, quickly get it in my Discord. So I've done as much as we could, but it's been really fun learning a little bit more about you, your gaming background, you as a person, some of the amazing things that you're involved in, and the creativity that you kind of bring to your streams and to your life, and also the very kind and very welcoming face that you bring to your streams as well. So yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you for being a part of
Mhm.
this, and hopefully people have found out a little bit more, and they're not judging you for not putting pineapple on your pizza and whatnot,
Yeah.
and saying that you're a Reese's Pieces. What did you say?
Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, a massive thank you for that. I realise that we're not pushed for time right now, but you are taking part potentially in an event in the next half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yes.
So I kind of want to give you enough time to go away, make a drink, settle, and get yourself back on that. And if you do see me in that event, Luna, can you please not shoot me? However,
No promises
I-
because you are on the defending team.
well, I wasn't going to say that I wasn't going to shoot you, but I'd prefer it if you didn't shoot me. But yeah, big thank you, Luna. It's been really a pleasure. Obviously, we are not at the end of April just yet, so this VOD will be available on Twitch and then posted up to YouTube as well. And I will do my very best to make sure that people are aware that you are on throughout April. And yeah, just a big thank you again.
I'm thank you to you as well. I'm really grateful that you felt I was grand enough to choose for your streamer spotlight. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate it.
It's really nice when I manage to be able to get into a stream, or you even pop into mine. It's we do what we can given the time that we have, so I really appreciate any time that we can say hello. And we do definitely have to put a date in the diary for me, you, and Noodles to run around and do some DayZ shenanigans.
I think that would be great fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
It'd be cool. Right, well, I shall, at this point, I normally do something silly like say, will you shoot me? But we are quite high up here, aren't we?
We are, yes.
So, I think I shall end this by disappearing over the side. I have to remember which, but I can't remember what my keybind is for waving. There we go, I've got it. Ta-da! Time for some parkour.
Thank you so much.
See you in a bit. Bye.
All right.
Okay.
I will let you go get ready for the event as well.
Okay, it's perfect. Thank you so much for that. And I'm going to end my stream now. And we'll catch up a little bit later on. I will catch you in a bit, Luna. Take care. Right, that is me done. I'm going to take a little break. I'll be back because I am actually in that event. And so I do need to go and get myself ready. So thank you for joining me for the Streamer Spotlight, which included Luna. And I will chat again. And I will let you know who is May even sooner. Take care.